The European agency is responsible for the authorization of medicines on the European market, and we asked for clarification about the many problems surrounding the COVID vaccines, and these problems are so great that we asked the EMA to withdraw the market authorization. This month we received a response from the EMA to our letter, and this response, some shocking facts. First of all, the EMA explicitly states that it has only and exclusively allowed the corona vaccines on the market for individual immunization and absolutely not for infection control and absolutely not for preventing or reducing infections, and this is devastating for governments that have gone all out on the Orgel campaign with the message "you are doing it for someone else." None of this is correct. However, the EMA had not authorized the vaccines at all to prevent infections. The EMA goes even further and states in its response, and I quote, "The vaccines were not intended to prevent infections, and there is certainly no data to substantiate that the vaccines help against infection." In fact, the EMA states that repeated exposure to the virus even increases the risk of infections. In vaccinated people, the massive government campaigns to vaccinate your parents, your neighbors, the weaker in society, were not only unauthorized, but also completely nonsense and not based on facts. But unfortunately it gets worse. The EMA says the vaccinations are solely for the protection of the vaccinated individual, and before vaccinating the individual or patient, all safety information should be carefully considered before administering or recommending a vaccination. So the sports halls are full of vaccine shots. Were completely contrary to the use for which the vaccines were authorized by the EMA, and it becomes even worse to assess the safety of the vaccines. It was essential for the EMA that side effects were properly recorded. We expect many reports of side effects that occurred during or shortly after vaccination. The government supported a policy in which these complaints reached the EU.